Over the years, I've found so many different reflections on these temptations. All of them can lead to great prayer and a deepening understanding. But whenever I come back to these temptations, I have to come back to the original temptation, the temptation that is told in the story of the first sin of Adam and Eve. And as I understand that first sin for me is doubt. They doubted who they were. God had told them who they were. God said, "You are my children." God said, "I breathed my life into you. I made you in my image. You bear me in you." And they just couldn't buy it. They just wanted more. There needed to be more. And then that promise that was given to them, that temptation comes. If you do this, you can be God. He's really not giving you the whole package. But if you do this, then you'll be okay. Now, I probably watch way too much TV, but the Big Bang Theory is, I would never know the Justice League if it wasn't for the Big Bang Theory. The Justice League talks about, I guess, all these different superheroes, okay? All these my God, there's dozens of them, And there's arguments about who is the most powerful of all these superheroes. And one day they were arguing about Ratman, and they were trying to figure out what great thing Ratman might add to being a human being. And I'm sitting here thinking, we really don't like ourselves very much, do we? We can't see in ourselves the goodness that we have, the power that we have. We have to add all these accoutrements, Iron Man, and then, even on the sports radio, they were arguing about whether Batman was a real superhero. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with being human? What's wrong with being a human being? And accessing all the power that we have as being human beings. There's nothing better than being human. And that's the test for Adam and Eve, and that was the test for Jesus. He's hungry. Human beings have to either hunt food or make food. Plant it, harvest it, separate it, bake it, then they can eat it. Or they have to go on the scouring around for food that they can eat. No, the temptation comes. Don't be human, Jesus. Here's a stone, make it bread. Be God. Don't be human. Being human isn't enough. Being human is not enough. Don't do that. The worst thing that can happen in Satan's mind is God becoming human. So don't be human. Now I'll jump to the third temptation. He takes him to the top of that temple. And he says, if you jump down there, you can convince everybody. Everybody, because the angels will catch you. What he's saying is, don't try to convert them by being human. Don't walk down those dusty valleys. Don't go up those mountaintops. Don't listen to those ignorant people. Don't have to put up with their hatred. Don't have to climb that cross. If you throw yourself and the angels catch you, they will believe. Don't be a human being. Be God. Be God, and that will be enough. And Jesus says, no, I am a human being, and that is enough. That is enough. I will walk those dusty roads. I will walk with these people, and I will teach them word by word. I will allow them to make mistakes. I will allow them to put me on that cross. Because this is what it means to love as a human being. Now, the second temptation, I separated out a little bit. Because there he's trying to get him to forget who he is completely. Satan doesn't want him to even acknowledge that he is God. If you will just take power and forget who you are, who sent you, and just come over here, and I will give you all the power. These people will have whatever you want them to have. I can make that happen if you forget now, not that you're human, if you forget now that you are God. And Jesus says, I am enough as who I am. And I can't, whenever I hear these temptations that shout out to me, I am enough. I am valuable. I'm valuable beyond all count. And my great temptation sometimes is to say, what a failure I am. I can't do this. God doesn't love me. There's something wrong in my life. Why does God treat the world the way that God treats the world? Last week my sister died in a car accident. Why? I can get mad at God and say, why did he let that happen? That's not, that's allowing myself to doubt that I am enough to survive that, and so is my sister, and so is my family. Because we survived the death of Jesus through his resurrection. We survived the death of our loved ones through resurrection. That is our faith. This is what carries us. And when we start to doubt, we start to do crazy things, trying to earn God's love. So for today, for me, in this beginning of Lent, I just ask God to please bless all of us with that awareness that he made us out of his image, he breathed his life into us, and we are indeed enough.